Hello, welcome to Yin Yoga. Today we're going to get into the hips as we always do. We'll also get into the side body and we'll do a little bit into the shoulders as well. So do make sure you have the appropriate props that you may need. So that's folded blankets. I'm also sitting on one, a bolster or some other sturdy cushion, maybe a block or two, just in case you need that. And we will come right into our practice. So as we get settled in here, remember, as we go into the colder months, you can always turn your practice into a warmer practice by turning on your space heater in the room. So finding a nice tall seat, ears, shoulders, and hips in alignment. We'll zip up from the pubic bone to behind the navel or belly button into the spine. We'll take a slight tuck in the chin. Begin to come into our practice here. So just taking a moment to notice, is there anywhere you could soften just a little bit more? Even from places we don't often think we carry tension. So maybe the jaw, the tongue, sometimes we even carry tension in the belly. And then bring your awareness into that breath. So as you breathe, notice if you're breathing in and out through the nose, the mouth, or a combination. Do you have expansion in that rib cage as you inhale? Do you breathe with the belly or do you breathe with the shoulders? Good. So from here, we're going to go into just a few rounds of our box breath. We'll do that 4 times. 6 will be our magic number today as we inhale, hold, and exhale. So that's not for you. Do what you can. Don't worry about the rest. Big exhale to prepare. Nice and tall. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Return to normal breath. Relax here, fingertips to the side. Palms turning up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Creating an intention for yourself. What would you like to give, receive? This week, my themes are going to be reconnection. So you can apply reconnection however you want to, or have your own intention. And from here, once you're ready, we'll inhale, take the palms back up overhead. You're going to open your eyes if you had them closed, palms turning away, grow taller from crown to tail. Good. From here, when you're ready, right arm's going to come up, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, take a side bend towards the left. Good. I'm just going to get a nice side body stretch here. I'm breathing. I'm expanding. And maybe even here, relaxing through the face just a little bit. Inhale, exhale, use your obliques if you can, your side abs. We're going to come all the way back up and grow taller as the arms come down. Left arm's going to come up. Reach, 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 reach. Take that side bend over to the right. Really reach down through that left side. Breathe and expand. Maybe relax the face. And when you're ready, inhale, exhale, engage those obliques, so side abs coming all the way back up. Reach, 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 reach. Turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. Good. From here, let's take it up. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, gentle rotation towards the left. When I come over to the left, I'm going to take my hands down. I'm going to roll my shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit more behind me. Breathe and expand. Good. Inhale and lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, taking that to the other side. Rolling the shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind you. Breathe and expand that rib cage. So I just felt myself kind of tightening up here in the hips. So if you feel that too, just relax through there. Reconnect with the breath. Inhale and lift. Exhale, coming back to center. Good. I'm going to take my thumbs inside my fist here and I'm just going to roll them. Good. And then when my wrists get about shoulder height, I'm going to pause. Good. Now my palms are facing you, the screen. So all I'm going to do is just kind of take it up and take it down. So no rotation. Just kind of think about taking the pinky down towards the floor, thumb up towards the ceiling. So if it's a better reminder to you or feels better to kind of undo the fist here, you can. Good. Now from here, my palms are still facing the screen. Now I'm going to take my fist forward and take it back and forward and back and forward and back. Feel that stretch in the forearm, forward and back. Good. Now, if you remember the direction that you took when you went into rotation, see if you can find the opposite direction here as you come down. Good. And then from here, just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We're going to go into a little bit of a body spinal movement here just to prepare. So I'm going to take my hands to my knees. Good. Now from here, not, a death grip, but I'm just going to let my chest come forward into a little back bend, and then I'm going to round. And as I move the spine here, I'm keeping my arms long. So I'm taking an inhale when I come forward and exhale when I come back. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. I don't know about you, but this is feeling great to my mid back. Good. And then when you're ready, good. From here, I'm just going to take my arms somewhere up here and I'm just going to let them move with me. Gentle rotation again from side to side. Good. And then from here, whenever you're ready, take any other little movement that would feel good to your body. A neck stretch, neck roll, maybe some big shoulder rolls here. Find what feels good. And then we're going to go into our first back bend. We're going to keep this back bend a little gentle here because we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So from here, and actually before we get there, I'm just going to move this blanket out of the way. Let's come to a few little cat-cows just to better prepare the spine for that extension. So from here, big inhale, shine the heart forward, tip the pelvis back, and exhale and round. Good. Good. So reconnect your movement with your breath. Good. And then when you're ready, you can carefully make your way down to the belly. Now, again, if you are someone that needs a little bit of a lift in that pelvis, you can always take that folded blanket, take your pelvic bones right along the edge here. That'll give you a little bit of a lift. If you don't need that, you can follow me. So we're going to come into Sphinx and get my timer set up here. We don't want to be here for too long, but we want to be here for a good amount of time. Good. So from here, I'm just going to take my elbows in. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle here for a moment. Good. And then from here, I'm going to think about lengthening that low body. My belly button is into the mat. Sorry, that's incorrect. My pubic bone is into the mat. My belly button is into the spine. And then from here, I'm just going to come up. And maybe I need to take my arms a little bit more forward, just so that the shoulders and the elbows can be in a better alignment. It's okay for the shoulders to be behind the elbows, but let's not take them forward. Good. So from here, I'm nice and engaged. I'm rolling my shoulders back. I'm lengthening. I'm breathing for 3 minutes. Now we want to be careful not to crunch the low back here. So if you feel that, you don't want to come up as high. I'm also trying to expand that rib cage as I breathe. And I'm trying not to let my ear or shoulders be creepy towards the ears here. So you really want to be supportive. Good. So in talking about reconnection, you've heard me mention a couple times now already about reconnecting with your breath. So that's one form of reconnection. So just like we do in the opening, as you reconnect with the breath, notice the sensations. Once more, do you have expansion in that rib cage? Is that breath smooth, calm, rapid, or choppy? How do you breathe? Are you in and out through the nose, through the mouth, or a combination? We're well into the second minute. We're almost halfway there. As we start to come in almost to the final minute, I'm just going to use this opportunity for a little bit of neck work. So I'm just going to take my chin and head to one side and to the other. If a neck roll is a good option for you, you can take that as well. Don't forget opposite directions if you're taking the rotation. "30 seconds. Good. Always coming back to your breath, coming back to the form. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So you always want to carefully come out of a back bend, carefully coming out of anything in yin. I'm going to make a recovery pillow with my hands. I'm taking my forehead onto those hands. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle my hip here for a little bit. And reconnect with that nice big breath and expand. Good. Stay here a little bit longer if that would feel good to you. Otherwise, we're going to move right into child's pose. So from this child's pose, we're also going to try and be here for about 3 minutes. So I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders. And I'm going to come up and I'm just going to decide, where do I want to do my child's pose today? Is it going to be knees together? Is it going to be as wide as my mat space? Is it going to be somewhere in between? Knowing we're going to be here in 3 minutes, do I need to bring some kind of support under here because my knees don't want to come all the way back? So I need to come up a little bit. So be mindful where you need to do your child's pose today. Remember, arms can also be long in front of you or hands back by the ankles. And we will try this one for a juicy 3 minutes. And think about too, because we're going to be here for 3 minutes, maybe not do your full child's pose right off the bat. So for example, here's my full, I'm just going to come up a little bit here so that my body can ease into it over the 3 minutes of time. And making this an active pose. So I'm still drawing up from pubic bone to behind the navel. I'm trying to keep that expansion in the rib cage. Good. I'm reconnecting with my body to let me know when it wants to sink a little deeper or if it needs to stay right where it is or back off a little bit. Good. We're in the 2nd minute. So we've talked about reconnecting with the breath. What about reconnection with your body? Remembering always, your body is your best teacher. I'm just a guide. So if something that I cue doesn't work for you, your body will let you know that, reconnect, and make a change. And going off the philosophy of being your own guru, you more than anybody else knows what's best for you, what works, what does not work. And one person is not being the teacher. When I reference one person, it's not the end all be all expert on everything. Things are always changing. New knowledge is always being received and learned. So how can you reconnect with your body? Reconnect with your practice. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, things might be a little vulnerable here. So I'm going to advise you to carefully come out in the way that's best for you. I'm going to carefully come back to my crocodile here. Good. Making that little recovery pillow with my hands. Maybe doing a little bit of a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Notice how you feel. And when you're ready to move, we're going to come up and make our way to a seat. So I'm going to move there through a little bit of a child's pose. If you need to get there a different way, that's okay too. Good. So I'm going to bring my blanket back in here to sit on. You're free to do the same if that is helpful to you. Good. And as we come here, we're going to come to half butterfly, and we'll add a little bit of a rotation and a side stretch into half butterfly as well. So I'm going to start by taking my left leg out. Good. And I'm going to bring my right foot in. So remember, about 85 to 90-ish to start. So that's about where I am here to give you an example. If I were going to take my leg out its wide as possible, this is what it would look like, but I don't want to be there. So I'm just going to bring it in. Okay, whoops. So find your seat, find maybe an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So tailbone comes back, hip bones rock forward. Find length in your spine. Good softness in this knee if you need to do that. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to hinge and fold here. Good. So this is part one. You can always fill in this space with a cushion or folded blankets if you need that. We're going to be here for 2 minutes. And again, I'm reconnecting with my breath. So I'm taking that expansion in the rib cage. Reconnecting with the body. Where could you soften? Do you need to back off? Will you honor your body if it tells you it's safe to sink deeper? Or honor your body if it tells you to stay right where you are? And we're into the final minute. Good. About 15 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So from here, be very cautious as you carefully walk up out of here. Good. And if you need to do any counter movements here, do you need to take a little bit of a twisty? Do you need to kind of come out of that little knee bend for a little bit before you come back into it? Find what you need. And then from here, I'm going to give different options for different people. So some of you, when we go into part 2 here, some of you are just going to take a gentle side bend here. That's all you need today. You can do that. Others are going to follow me with the twist. So we're just going to do basic twist today, not the deeper one. So we'll rotate and fold if you're taking twist. So find what you need, knowing you can always have a prop over here if you're doing the side bend and you need to kind of stop early. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, take your side bend or follow me, rotating to the left, folding to the left. This one will be for 2.5 minutes. Good. So remember, reconnection to the breath, to the body. Maybe reconnection could be one to nature. Even though we're in the chilly season, sometimes still taking a brisk walk in nature can be very beneficial to mind, body, and spirit. My Reiki practitioner prescribes that to me, walking in nature outside every single session that we have. We don't realize how much we let go of consciously or subconsciously when we take a walk in nature and reconnect. So the next time you do that, when you get back home, back inside, think about how it felt to walk outside. How much better do you feel? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So from here, if you went into the side bend, carefully come out of the side bend. If you went into the twist and fold, carefully come out of the fold first and then come out of the twist. Good. Now this is going to feel really good to this side. So we're just going to lengthen that leg a bit here. Good. And maybe taking that left foot in. So if you're kind of someone that needs to kind of point and flex a little bit, do a little bouncy bounce here. Good. Then let that happen for you. Okay. So we're going to take that series right into the other side. So I'm going to take my right leg out to about 85, 90-ish%. Good. Reset your hips if you need to. Anterior tilt, tailbone comes back, hip bones rock forward. And then when you're ready, we're just going to fold forward. So remember, you can feel anything in here that you need to. 2 minutes. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, lengthen. Hinge from the hips as you fold before you take your hands down. And if you found yourself rounding here, could you find a little bit more length in that spine? Good. So again, reconnect here to breath and body. Breathe and expand. And we're in the final minute. Your body is your guide. In 3, 2, and 1. Good. So carefully come out of that fold. Good. And then from here, so again, listening to your body, if it would feel good to you to just kind of release that left leg for a moment, then we'll honor that. Otherwise, we're going to go into the part 2, so the side bend or the rotation and fold. So whenever you're ready, knowing where you're going to go here, and it might not be exactly the same as what you did on the other side. Sides are different. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, take the side bend if you're going there, or follow me. We're going to rotate to the right, fold to the right. Hips stay grounded. Good. And again, maybe not your deepest fold or side bend right off the bat. So as we think about the reconnection to nature, and I talked about how we release things more than we think we do when we walk in nature. But what kind of nature suits you best? For me, that's going to be almost always a walk in the woods in the spring, the fall, or the winter. Maybe not always with snow, but the different types of air temperature. Other people, getting out in nature means walking along a beach or being somewhere close to water. Others, it might be walking in a city park. So what part of nature resonates best with you? If you're a gardener, that might be your backyard flower garden. It might be going bird watching somewhere. Reconnecting with nature. And we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. If you took the side bend, carefully come out of there. If you took the twist and fold, carefully come out of the fold first. Good. And then we'll come out of that rotation. Good. So most of you are probably going to want to release that left leg here for a moment. Give it a point and flex, maybe a little bouncy bounce if you need that. Good. So from here, we're going to come into a shoelace and get into the shoulders a little bit here as well. And with a third eye connection if you've got the full wrap. So from here, I'm going to start with my left leg being on the bottom. Good, and as I put that on the bottom, I'm just kind of taking this foot in closer to the hip. Good. Now, different people have to do different things here. So if taking then your right leg on top, crossing it over, this might be what you look like. Some of you might have that nice alignment of the knees. As you can see on this side, I'm not quite there. I'm actually really not there. So here's one knee, here's the other. Don't force anything to happen. It does help if you sit up on a folded blanket, but you do want to have both hips grounded, okay? So if this is not for you here, crisscross applesauce, which is this one right here, might be a good alternative. So from here, good. I'm going to focus on rooting through my hips. I'm going to take a nice long spine. I'm going to take my arms out to the side. Good. I'm going to take my right arm on top of the left. So some of you, just a nice big hug here, maybe over time while we're here giving yourself a big squeeze or maybe playing with this movement might be what you need. Others, it might be a wrap. So from here, when you're ready, find what works for you. Good. And we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Good. So if you feel numbness, tingling, burning pain in the shoulders and or the hips, we want to back off or come out of there completely. Good. Good. And I'm just going to start to kind of move my elbows up and down here, finding a little bit more of a sweet spot. Breathe and expand. So reconnect to that breath. Reconnect to the body. Good. So if you're in the full wrap, maybe you want to take your thumb to the third eye here. If you can no longer sustain the wrap or this hold here, you can also seek third eye connection by coming to prayer hands, taking your thumbs there. So be where you need to be. As we reconnect with the third eye, this is your intuition chakra. So reconnecting with your form. So if you kind of went into a little bit of a slump here, could you reconnect with a long spine, growing a little bit taller from crown to tail? Do you need to reconnect with your body by backing off here? So you need to undo your legs a little bit, undo the arms a little bit. Does that mean taking an all-out break and coming out completely? 30 seconds. Good. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Carefully undo. I'm going to undo my arms first. I'm going to give them a little shake. And then I'm going to carefully undo my legs. As I undo my legs, I'm just going to take them long in front of me. Good. And I'm just going to kind of let them shake. So before we do this on the other side, we're going to come into a caterpillar pose, folding forward. So a lot of times we're in that one for 4 minutes. We're just going to do that for a couple today. So I'm going to also do this one sitting up on my folded blanket. I'm just going to turn sideways here so you can see better. So legs can be together. They can be a little bit wider apart. Some people like to bring in support here. That support can be a long cushion. Maybe it's better for you to have a support more here. This is actually what I'm going to do today because this is what my body is telling me it needs. So from here, whenever you're ready, good, with or without your prop, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips. And when you can go no more, take the arms down. Good. In just a couple minutes here. So some days my back gets a little bit sensitive. So if I do a forward fold for an extended period of time like this, it feels better if I have a little bit of support. It doesn't get as deeply back here. But I'm reconnecting with my breath. I'm reconnecting my body, letting it fold in as it wishes. We're in the final minute. 3, 2, and 1. Good. So I'm going to carefully come out of here. Good. I'm going to place my cushion to the side. I'm going to turn back around and face you here. So now we're going to take the shoelace on the other side. So now, whatever leg that you had on top or in front, if you did crisscross applesauce, is now going to be your base. I'm just going to bring that in. Good. Now my left leg for me is going to cross over. Good. And that's going to look different to different people. So again, don't force a knee to knee alignment here if that's not what your body's ready for. Clearly, I'm not there. So it's always okay to work where you are in the moment. Good. We'll find some nice tall spine, some length here. Arms out to the side. Left arm's going to come on top. Good. So find your hug or find your wrap. Good. And then from here, good. We will try this one for 3 minutes. Breathe and expand. Good, and I'm just gonna start just like I did on the other side. I'm just gonna let my elbows kind of come up and down a little bit here. Good, and then once I settle in, I'm gonna take my thumb to the middle of my forehead, my third eye connection here, the intuition. So reconnecting with your intuition, I highly recommend. It goes back to listening to your body. And then going with your gut feeling, your instinct to do something or not do something. A lot of people ignore theirs. And everybody has the ability to work on it and make it stronger. And a lot of that comes from meditation. So if you're like, well, I can't sit in meditation for 20 minutes, no worries. Most days I cannot either. And I've been practicing 10 years for meditation. So start small. Could you meditate for 1 minute? And then maybe you come back a few days later, could you do 1.5 minutes? And then 2 minutes. Setting a timer on your cell phone is great. And your thoughts will always wander in meditation, but coming back to your initial thought, an initial question, a word, a mantra will help you reconnect. And as stated at the beginning of this class, and you've heard me talk about this week, that's reconnection for me. About 30 seconds. Good. And we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Gently come out of there. Kind of shake something out. Good. So from here, for our forward fold, our second forward fold, we're going to come into straddle. So we've prepped for this straddle with the half butterflies that we did on each side earlier. And now we're going to come into straddle. So again, if you need to take a cushion or a folded blanket forward here for you for support, feel free to do that. Same thing. If you need to find a little bit of support underneath the knees here because you're super tight, find that. I'm still sitting on my folded blanket. I'm going to reconnect. Good. Coming into that anterior tilt of the pelvis. And we're going to be in this one for 3.5 minutes. So be mindful. And again, So here's an example. Here's my widest. I'm going to bring that in just a little bit. Good. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. We want to keep that length. Good. And then remember, connect to your body. It's your best teacher. It'll let you know when it's safe for you to sink deeper, if you need to stay where you are, or if you need to come out. We're in the second minute. So we've reconnected with the breath. We talked about the body. We've talked about the nature. We've talked about intuition. What about a reconnection to relationships? Often a hard and a tricky one to reconnect with. Some of you at the hearing of that might have tightened up in the hips a little bit there. That's okay. Just breathe through it, relax through it. Not all relationships are positive ones. So I'm not necessarily talking about toxic relationships that you need to keep in small amounts or just not, handle a whole lot, but maybe reconnect with an old friend or an old cousin that you haven't spoken to in a while. Maybe you're like me, you have an aging parent that's slowing down, and so a deeper reconnection there might be more beneficial. So going back to reconnecting with the self, you are your own guru. You know what relationships are good and not good for you. So let that be your guide if you choose to reconnect there. For 15 seconds. And in 3, 2, and 1. Good. So if you're like me, you sunk pretty deep in this one. So I'm going to be very, very careful to come out of here because my hips, especially at the attachments, are very, very vulnerable. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to carefully bring in my knees. And I think it might feel good here if you, with bent knees, just take a slight rotation to one side and then a gentle rotation to the other side. Good. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So from here, carefully make your way there. And before we come into Shavasana, we're going to find our final hip opener here. Good. And this one is going to be Happy Baby. So I'm just going to kind of prop this up a little bit here. So Happy Baby, we're just going to be here for 3 minutes. Happy Adult is an option for you as well. So just to kind of give you an idea, Happy Baby. Good. I'm going to take my feet up towards the ceiling. I'm in an external rotation. So toes, knees, and hips are turning out away from the body. You can have an outside, inside, or yogi toe grip with the feet. If that's not real accessible to you today, that's a little too tight, come into happy adult. Knees will bend. You're still in that external rotation of the hip, but your grip is going to come to the shins now. Feet won't touch here. So find what works best for you. Good. And wherever you chose a happy baby or happy adult, can you find a little bit more length in the torso? Good. So this is a gentle pressure to begin. Again, your body will let you know when it's safe to sink deeper. Reconnecting with breath. And we'll take about 30 more seconds here. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Carefully, carefully release where you went. Good. And then before I come into Shavasana, I'm just going to let my knees kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side for a moment here. Let some other things in the lower body reset itself. Good. And then from here, find the Shavasana that would look, or not look, rather, but feel the best for you. So I'm bringing my folded blanket in for a little bit of a neck pillow. I'm going to carefully try to use my feet and legs here to bring my cushion in, to take my legs over that. So find what you need here. And then once you found yours, maybe roll the shoulders under just a little bit here. Could you make yourself about 10% more comfortable? And then your prompt here for Shavasana is reconnecting to spirit. And again, that's going to mean different things to different people. Sometimes that might be a religion or faith practice. For others, connection to spirit is the same thing as connecting to nature. So whatever that means to you, reconnecting to something higher than yourself. And let that be your thought of reconnection as you sink into your Shavasana. Reconnecting with that breath by taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of the fingers and the toes. Choose stillness or taking knees into the chest, maybe one at a time. Choosing to stay here or maybe tucking the chin, lifting the upper body into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or carefully moving any props out of the way you may have used for your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, the edge of the toes. Full body stretch, point and flex to the feet. Bend and stretch to the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over onto the right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Knowing you have permission to stay here as long as your body needs you to, or when you're ready, carefully come back to that seat where we started our practice, or maybe a different one. Good. Finding that tall spine again, grow taller from crown to tail. Notice how you feel versus when you first started. Palms to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands in the heart center. Reconnecting with your intention one final time. We'll take our thumbs to our forehead for good and true thoughts. To our lips for good and kind words. And to our hearts for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day or evening ahead. Namaste.